making people earn your trust. So this goes back to the concept of the art of war, okay? Not that we're necessarily against every individual that we come across in life, but from the standpoint of creating peace within yourself and understanding as well that the world at large is fairly chaotic and fairly asleep, it's important to understand that as we go into battle every day, that we have to be cognizant of our actions and the information that we're providing to others. So anything that you ever give to the external world, any others, that means your family members, your perceived friendships, your partnerships, you're giving them information that could possibly be used against you at a later date. So this is also, and really what I want to tie this back into, is this attitude of victimhood. Okay, if you're ever feeling like you're the victim or playing the victim, and then you share that information with others, it can be utilized as gossip, as negative energy that undoubtedly can be projected back onto you. So from a Stoic principle, the best way to engage in the world is to be slow and steady and keep this calm equilibrium. Because when people cannot anticipate your next move, you become mysterious and you become powerful. You don't want your opponents to be able to really gauge what you're going to do next. And again, I don't want to suggest that, everything on the external is your enemy, quite the opposite. But you do have to understand that a lot of what is on the external is unawakened and is still in a lower vibrational consciousness. So when we start to elevate ourselves into this higher consciousness, we have to understand that part of this war that we're fighting within is also still playing out on the external plane. So as we rise, yes, the universe recalibrates and adjusts itself, but there is this element of time delay. So that is why it's so important that you actually keep any of your obstacles, any of your lessons to yourself. It's not about going out there and telling everybody all of the things that are going wrong or frustrating you in your life. It's about calmly and peacefully looking at those obstacles and lessons, tackling them from within, building your own skills up, and not layering that stress on others. This leads me into another concept I want to talk about as you heal yourself and grow into a more mature, balanced version of you, okay? And this is not allowing others to layer their problems on you or shoulder you with their problems. A lot of times when you have a good-hearted person, somebody that is compassionate, empathetic, and has this good nature, individuals that are essentially spiritually bypassing their own lessons will try to layer them on a good person. So, complaining about their situation, telling you how difficult things are for them, essentially trying to layer you with the burden of trying to fix their problems. Another sort of modern term for this would just be complaining or whining. But when you have people that are coming to you with all of their stuff, all of their baggage, and essentially laying it on your table and then kind of looking at you like, hey, how are you going to fix my problems? That is them not taking responsibility for themselves. The only way we grow and change and develop and essentially transform is when we acutely look at our own problems, our own disadvantages, and we use our own skills to move through them, okay? Now, I'm not talking about going out of your way to help somebody that truly deserves it, okay? I do this all the time, but I do it with discernment. I make the judgment on who and when I want to help, and I don't help just because somebody is whining to me or telling me all of their life problems, when I can see that they are truly capable of fixing those things themselves, they're just not taking that initiative to do so. And so as we grow, and part of our own happiness journey is realizing that just because somebody brings you their issues and their problems doesn't mean, just because you're a good person, that it's your obligation to then fix their issues. Okay, part of having a balanced mindset is realizing that there is an element as well of tough love. And what does that mean? Essentially, it means that it is completely okay to protect your own energy and let that person gently know that they need to figure out a way to solve their own problems. Usually problems arise because there is some imbalance, or they are not really utilizing their skills to heighten their own earth life experience. So if you are somebody that, does have a lot of skills, is super helpful, is empathetic, it doesn't mean that you have to save the world, okay? There is billions of people here. There are lots of people that can help individuals. You can do your part, you can be friendly, you can listen to them, but don't shoulder all of the stuff that they're carrying. You have your own burdens to carry and your own problems that you have to solve. Okay, this brings me to point number 3. Sometimes it's easier to fix the problems of others than deal with your own problems. Why do we do this? Again, it's that version of trying to fix ourselves by fixing the external world. This belief that if we do good on the external, somehow we'll be rewarded. But what the universe and God and, the full life experience is actually supposed to be teaching us is that we need to cultivate these skills within ourselves and solve our problems. Now, sometimes that means asking others for help. Again, that might seem a little bit counterintuitive or counterproductive or counterintuitive to what I was just talking about, but all of this really needs to be done with discernment. And cultivating this intelligent discernment is part of the puzzle pieces of really building yourself into the highest possible vibration or highest possible expression of your own beingness. Okay. And so then people will say, well, how do I know if I'm discerning correctly? How do I know if I'm doing this correctly? You feel peaceful. When you make a decision, you feel that it is right. It's that still small voice within yourself, the thing on the inside that was built into you that lets you know you're doing it right. You're on the right path. So if you are unkind to somebody, you're going to feel, wow, that wasn't the right thing to do. Okay. Or if you stand up for yourself and you let somebody know where they're going wrong or how they are doing a disservice for you, you sit back, you meditate on it, and you look at everything, from a really intelligent, logical, but heart-based approach. And this is how we have to learn to do things. When we are overly emotional, when we shoot from the hip, when we don't make calm decisions, this is when chaos happens, okay? Because there is that duality. There's that duality of asking for assistance, and that we do at some point need to be discerningly vulnerable with the right people. But there's also that aspect of tough love. You cannot let people walk on you. You cannot let people take advantage of you. And there's this meet in the middle energy where we hit that equilibrium of right action. I've talked about it in other videos. So my purpose in doing these videos is to slowly teach you as I'm learning myself. So I don't want to say that I'm the complete expert in this, but it's certainly things that I'm putting into application in my own life, in my own circumstances. And I'm finding it very helpful for my mental health and just how I see things unfolding around me. So let's go back to that energy of keeping your challenges and obstacles to yourself, okay? This is something that, again, it will really give you an advantage in life, is just really keeping whatever is on your plate essentially in your own kitchen. You don't have to serve up a plate of negativity, of your problems, of your dramas to everybody else to have a taste of, because again, they're going to run around and talk about what's going on in your life, and some of them might be on your team and some of them might not be on your team. And when you're dishing it out to everyone, you really don't know who is in your corner and who's going to utilize your Achilles heel against you. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this video up, but hopefully this is helpful, and we'll see you in the next video.